Hey guys, we are Becca
and Jesse
with Modern Vintage Events.
And this is Planning and Prosecco.
So, you're on the great venue hunt. Yeah, we know. It's hard to find one. Finding a venue that is in a great location, works within your budget, and doesn't look like your Nana's living room takes some research and a lot of work.
Truth. The venue is the backdrop for not only your party, but for every photo that you will look at for years to come. Those yellow walls or curtains that are left over from the 80s might work, but they also might leave you looking just a tad bit jaundiced in your photos.
Not if you have a good photographer to capture your day. The space where your wedding is held can actually have a big impact on how the final photos come out.
Something we had no idea about until our friend and photographer extraordinaire, Courtney Davidson, clued us in on this.
Courtney with Courtney Davidson Photography is here with us today to teach us a little bit about how to pick your venue and your photographer.
Awesome.
Hi,
well,
Courtney.
hi. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us.
I love this topic because it does play out so much in what we create for our clients on a wedding day. And it's something that we can't always control the venue, right? But you guys can, and you can think about this ahead of time as you're choosing your vendors and your venue. One of the things that I think is super important is to look at lighting and also texture and the feel of the venue. Some of our Nashville venues are super urban and modern feeling, and some of them are very gardeny and southern and outdoorsy. So those are some things to think about in terms of your style and how you want your photos to look like in the end.
So what if you want that really cool urban venue, but you also want those nature outdoorsy photos?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can do that. That's an option. I think the main things to think about are to consider having some time in your timeline to go to an alternate location. And sometimes you don't even have to go that far. For instance, the new venue Clementine, it's very urban. It's great. Very modern, very urban, very interesting space, but it's not that far to a green space from there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to get those naturey photos and just to keep it simple and have some really beautiful natural light photos in addition to your modern, cool, hipster kind of feel too.
And we'll coordinate with your photographer to make that in your timeline.
Yes,
as well.
that's very important. Got to have the time to do
Yes.
it. We're not magicians, but yes.
So, if you're looking at a photographer, how do you determine if the photographer that you're looking at is going to be able to take the kind of photos that you want within that space?
Sure, I think that's a great question. It's definitely important, I think, these days to really, really research your photographer well. So many of us have different styles. Some of us prefer, we shoot only artificial light. Some people only shoot natural light. Some people really prefer that style. I think for me, I go a little bit between. I kind of try to bring all the tricks in my bag to be able to light or photograph any situation at any time.
She got a lot of tricks in that bag.
Got all the tricks.
It's a big bag. But that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that your favorite photographer on Instagram who only has really, really natural light sunsetty images shown on their portfolio doesn't have the capability to do other things. I think what you need to do is ask the right questions of them and request full weddings from them, links to full weddings.
That's important.
Especially in a venue that might be a little bit different or something similar to the venue that you are choosing. You can tell them what your venue is and then ask to see something that's comparable. And so those are always good practices when looking for your photographer.
Those are really, really good pieces of advice.
Yes, seriously.
Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you guys.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this and it will help enlighten you a little bit on how to choose your photographer. Courtney's a great one.
She is a good one.
And your venue.
Yes.
And your venue.
And your
I
venue.
mean, both
Yeah.
of those things.
Thank you to Courtney Davidson Photography for being here.
Thank you guys.
Please like this and share it with your friends.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe right here. Join us again soon for the next installment of Planning and Prosecco. Until then,
Happy planning!